Joe. How are you?
Good, Dan. How are you?
Oh, good. Thanks for uh, coming on here. Joe, go ahead. Say whatever you'd like to.
Well, my background in this is a little different. Dan, you're probably aware my brother was a pit trader for about 13, 15 years, and I was his younger brother. So I ate this stuff up, and I've been very passionate about it since a young age. I've had really just kind of failure after failure, and I always kind of explain how I knew the markets. It's almost like somebody who could tell you what every bet meant at a craps table, but I have no idea what to tell you what to put your money on. So I understood it all, but I could never put something together. And I struggled decade after decade, and things would work for a short time, then wouldn't. And I gave up more than once. And it really wasn't until I found you and I joined up in the 3K class around November, I think, of 21, something like that. So I've been around a little over a year and a half with the classes. The year of 22, all of last, I would say, calendar year was sort of, it was push and pull. I would have some success with some trades, especially the broken wing flies. I seemed to really do well with those. Those really connected with me. And then every time I tried something other than that, I would give the money back that I made on the broken wing flies. So almost to the dollar with commissions, I broke even in 22. So the beginning of this year, I decided I'm going to do broken wing flies exclusively and learn them as well as I possibly can and just try to get good at one thing, just to manage that risk. In a bigger picture, you kind of have to realize too what you're trying to do here, or what Dan's trying to do, to take people like this. I remember I'm a lawyer as well, and in law school, I remember there was a renowned securities professor that I had, and the first day of class, he asks everybody, "Oh, are you in the market? Do you guys buy stocks?" And a few people raised their hand. I, of course, did. Yeah, I know what's going on in the markets. And he just nods and says, I'll never forget his quote. He said, "The market is for insiders." And I'll never forget that. You have to realize we're going up against billions of dollars of research, AI. I mean, I wouldn't say the odds are stacked against you, but it ain't easy, is it? So the fact that Dan has at least taught me one system, one trade that I have good confidence that I could control my risk on. So my goal was always to, and it sounds crazy, but I'm saying, all right, on the extreme end, I want to manage $1 million of my own money. Well, I can't do that until I could manage 100,000, and I can't do that until I manage 10,000. So I started with 10,000 this year, and I was doing well, and I scaled it up. And to scale it up, I'm now putting on regularly. I'll have $100 to $120,000 on any position. Knowing that I really can't afford to be sloppy, and I don't hold things very long. I'm very mechanical in what I do. I try to create rules, solid rules, and I know I'm going to get chopped up at times, and I know other times things are going to go well, and I just have to learn the timing on it. I mean, for me, if you were to ask, oh, is it possible to make 3K a month on this? Well, I am. I am making 3K a month on it. However, I am not doing it with 25,000. I'm not that good yet. I have a lot to learn, but I'm learning how to manage one small area and one trade myself. So, I mean, the only advice I could give anyone else out there is, everyone's situation's different. You really have to find something that works for you. And when you're in a trade, just act. If you could trick your mind into thinking you got one more zero behind it than you do, it may teach you to be a little less, sloppy. Oh, I just got one, let it ride. Who cares? I mean, it goes up or down, whatever. But if you could really take it seriously and manage that risk, to me, there was no way to do it other than to just do it. And yeah, there were some sort of heart pounding moments, but the more you do it, the more I kind of get used to it. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm consistent. I just want to try to maximize my profit more. And I would love to learn other trades, but right now I am just purely a one trick pony when it comes to trading. that's my story.
Yeah, no, Joe, I appreciate it. And one thing I'll say about what I learned from being in the CBOE and around a lot of traders, and what I learned from many other people, and it's not original with me, but I learned it. It's like when you're at what did I take out of it? And it's risk management. That's it. I mean, sure, you're learning volatility, you're learning this, but really, and there's it's interesting what Joe brought up. There's a fine line. I've always said this before. I said, when you really need mentoring after you've done it for a year or two, and you've learned the brokerage platform, you've done, because a lot of times, we started mentoring in 2004. We'd mentor somebody their first 6-7 months, but and they do okay, but you're spending a lot of time, the brokerage platform, they don't have enough trades under their belt. But if you heard what Joe said, he was break even, and then now he's trading not that far in, $100,000 trade. Well, what it comes down to, folks? I've said this before. It's risk management. You're a few tweaks or something, from getting better. All right. Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
You, Dan.